What's going on YouTube? I wanted to make another video. I made a very similar video about maybe about 6 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, talking about how stupid unprotected sex is. But I wanted to make it again, man, because this is one of the biggest, like, I guess you could say, problems in society, and it's always been a problem. And I got so many friends, both male and female, who do not regularly participate in having safe sex. And, it's a real social problem, man. I'm talking about wearing a latex condom. None of that just having an IUD, not just getting on the pill, not just pulling out, not just making sure you're not ovulating. None of that lambskin bullshit, because I'm gonna tell you something. I've never met a man in my life who, we got to talking about fucking and shit like that, and he told me he had to pull it off because he was allergic. People act like they're allergic to condoms, but I've never met anybody who's actually allergic to latex condoms. And if that's you, then whatever, lambskin or some other alternative. But for 99.999 repeating percent of people, latex condoms are the way to go. And I don't know what it is about people that just makes them not really give a fuck about wearing condoms. But first and foremost, when I remember, man, when I was younger, my mom, like, I've always been a fan of Maury and shit like that. And my mom would always say, if you're not wearing a condom, you're not practicing safe sex, then you're trying to have a child. And I was always, it's not an accident. I was always used to say, how is it not an accident? He didn't want a child, she didn't want a child. That's an accident. It wasn't planned. But as I got older, I started to get a complete understanding of exactly what she meant. Because we all know, we're adults. I'm not talking to 15 and 16-year-olds, but even then, if you're old enough to put your dick in something, you should be wise enough to have knowledge about what happens when you do certain things like that. You should be knowledgeable about sex. And I remember even back when I was 12, but everybody else was 13, in 8th grade when we did sex education. We got sex education in class at 12, 13. And I even remember before that, my mom gave me the talk when I was 8. And I had been looking at porn and everything long before I ever actually stuck my dick in a girl. So you claiming ignorance, you using your own, trying to act like it's naivete that's basically compelling you to act like a damn fool, that we could throw that out the window. Because by the time you're 18, 19, 20, and like I said, even younger than that, but by the time you're a legal adult, we all know what happens when you have unprotected sex. We know that you can't. Is that something on the wall? Oh, okay, it's just something on my screen. But we know that pulling out does not always work. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, because a lot of people will say certain things, but I actually do believe that if you pull out correctly, it does work in certain cases. Now, we know through science that the pre-cum, the male lubricant, when a man gets stimulated to a certain extent, he gets aroused enough, he starts excreting pre-cum. We all know this. And that pre-cum can contain semen if he's ejaculated before and it hasn't been washed out thoroughly, which some scientists say it can only be about, just taking a piss after you come at any time or wash it all out. But for safe measure, 2 to 3 times to fully get it out your tubes. And, of course, if your dick is clean and everything. Pre-cum doesn't contain semen. But what the problem is that a lot of y'all think you're going to be able to pull out, and you can't pull out. You think you pulled out, but you really didn't. You actually came a little bit inside of her, and you didn't even realize it. What you think is going to happen is that you'll be able to control yourself because you've been able to control yourself hundreds of other times, and then it's going to be that one time that you couldn't control yourself, or you came unexpectedly, you didn't know it was about to happen, or the pussy's so damn good, it felt like you were coming the whole time. Now you've ejaculated inside this girl. And, I blame both parties involved, but truth be told, man, I'm a little bit hard on the females that end up pregnant by these circumstances, because women are in a lot more control when it comes to actual fucking coitus. if you tell a man, you know, of course, unless he sexually assaults you, you know, we're not talking about that. But if you tell a man, you can't fuck me unless you wear a condom, and you actually mean it, because the first video I made at that particular time, I had never had a girl tell me to put on a condom. Now, since that video has been made about 6 months ago, I had one girl tell me to put on a condom because we started off with head, and she used the condom to suck me up. But later on, I could have had sex without a condom. So, well, actually, and then there was a kind of similar situation before. So, out of all the girls, you know, not trying to brag or anything, but out of all the girls, only two told me to put on a condom, and they really didn't fucking mean it. So, you know, these females, you got to understand that you're the one that's really going to suffer. I mean, having a child is a life-changing event for both the male and female parties involved. But as a woman, you have to carry that child for 9 months. You're going to be the one that all of your progress, all of the things you were aspiring to accomplish throughout your 20s or maybe even your 30s are going to be impeded or completely, you know, just eradicated. Some things you'll just never be able to do because you have a child. You're the one that's going to have to go through all that mental and emotional trauma of being pregnant. You're going to have to be the one that has to breastfeed and be up all night with that baby when it's screaming and hollering and, you know, acting a fool. That's going to be you, not the man. Because, you know, I don't agree with this. I don't condone it. But at the end of the day, he could just run off somewhere. He can get you pregnant and you may never see him again. But unless you have a miscarriage or you choose to abort the baby, you're stuck with that baby. So I almost kind of blame these women more. And if these women would actually have a sense of conviction about themselves and not allow a man to go inside them raw, a lot of more men would just wear condoms. Because you know what I'm saying? A lot of men, they're thinking with their dick, they're not thinking with their brain. So when it comes, you know, you got some foreplay, but sometimes you just go straight at it and you got your dick out. A lot of y'all just, you know, put it straight in. You don't think twice about it. You don't look at them funny. You don't even look at them funny. But you're damn sure not talking about condoms and this, that, and the third. But, you know, the blame ain't off you males either, because, you know, man, I just don't understand it, man. And, you know, past children, why aren't you guys worried about STDs? You know what I'm saying? There's so many of y'all. I got personal friends, and we all do. And probably some of y'all actually listening or fall guilty of this, but y'all are the most gullible motherfuckers I've ever met. How many shows do you have to watch? How many people do you have to know personally? How many fucking stories? Yeah, I got a phone call, but how many celebrities and all these different instances do you have to hear before you actually get it through your thick skull that a woman is capable of lying to you? She's not. Why are you believing her when she says she's on the pill? Why are you believing her when she says you're the only one she let hit raw? Why are you believing her when she fucking tells you, you know, she can't get pregnant, or I know my cycle, I can't get pregnant on these days? Why are you believing that bullshit? And some of y'all are so, these are the real idiots. Some of y'all have gotten women pregnant on accident, which is not, you know what I'm saying, it's not a complete accident like I said, but some of y'all have had unplanned babies before, and y'all still do that same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just really can't learn. You know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker like me talking to you definitely ain't gonna do shit, because you've actually gone through that before. It's one thing to just, you know, you fucked up, man. You had to unwanted child. You know, it is what it is. But then you do that shit again, and then again, and then again, and then again. Some of y'all got double-digit children out here running around. So, you know, I don't know what it is about y'all that you always talking about how bitches ain't shit and women lie and woo, 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 but you're still going a woman raw because she told you she's on the pill. And like I said, not to even mention diseases, because like I said, if you're going in her raw, unless she's a virgin, and even then, if she tells you she's a virgin, which, you know, don't really happen anymore after you get a certain age, but even if she tells you she's a virgin, you got to take that with a grain of salt. Because I've had girls personally tell me they're virgins, and I knew for a fact, me and some of the niggas they had fucked were buddies. That happened all the time in high school. You know, girls talking about they a virgin because, you know, whatever, they regretted it or just whatever. And you know people personally. Sometimes you might even see a video of them getting fucked by somebody, you know, whatever. But, y'all are going in these women just assuming that you're the only one that she's letting fuck raw. Let me tell you something, man. You're not the only one. The same way she's not the only bitch you're fucking, you're not the only nigga she's fucking. And let me tell you something. If you're going raw, other people are going raw. The likelihood of you just being so fly, so clean, so charismatic, so handsome, so you know your dick is the size of a totem pole, and you can fuck for 10 hours straight, no breaks, no water breaks, or nothing. All of that may be true, but I guarantee you, man, she's letting some mediocre motherfucker fuck her raw if she's letting you fuck raw. You best believe that, man. Especially for those of you who are just having casual sex. This ain't even your girlfriend. It's I don't agree with it, but it's one thing to be in a steady relationship and y'all have told each other, hey, we're just gonna only fuck with each other, so woo, woo, woo. But a lot of y'all are meeting girls on Tinder. You're meeting girls at the club, meeting girls at the mall, and you taking them home, or you meet them a week later, whatever, and you fuck them, and you think she's the only one that's letting you fuck raw. Come on, man. Y'all are sharper than that. Y'all are sharper than that. I've even had, this has actually happened recently, a buddy of mine, a close friend of mine, and I know he's gonna watch this video, but he's another motherfucker, always fucking raw. Because she said, I actually kind of clown him, because he's always talking about, well, she said she's on the pill. She said she's clean. She said. A lot of y'all are she said motherfuckers, but he actually told me recently, he started off with the condom, because every time he tells me about a bitch, I ask, hey, bro, did you put on a condom? And I already know the answer. But he started off with a condom, was doing things the right way, took the motherfucker off. And I said, man, that's some cold-ass pussy that makes you take the condom off. You feel me? It's one thing to just start off with it raw, just whatever. But imagine that pussy made you say, man, I gotta feel the real thing. Let me take this motherfucker off. And it's just like, man, I just don't understand why you guys just don't get it, man. You can get STDs from oral sex. You can get STDs from anal sex. You can get STDs, of course, from vaginal sex. And I've had so many people tell me, well, it depends on what kind of girl she is. No, it don't. No, it don't. And see, I learned that at a very young age. When I was 16 years old, I'm not going to go into details because some people I went to high school would actually watch my channel. But there was this girl I was fucking with, and she had only had sex with one other person. So she says, and I believe her. She had only had sex with one other person, and she only did it twice. But the guy who she had sex with, it was rumored, I don't know if it's true, that's, I wouldn't say his name anyway, but that's why I'm definitely not going, but it was rumored he had an STD. So from 2 sexual experiences prior to me, I was the second motherfucker ever to go in her pussy. And the third motherfucker, the third sexual experience she was gonna have, she could have already had an STD from this one other guy she fucked. She only fucked one other guy. So for those of you in high school, you're in college, you're young adults, and girls out here, they're always hitting the clubs, they're always getting drunk, always getting high, always going home and getting fucked. You really think it's not a chance? I don't give a fuck if it's one other person or 1 million other people. She can have an STD, man. She don't have to be a quote-unquote hoe or a slut or whatever you think to have an STD, man. Come on, y'all, use your brains. Because like I just said, if you're fucking it raw, somebody else fucked it raw. And will continue to fuck it raw. So if you're fucking it raw, somebody else is fucking it raw. And it only takes one other guy one time for hell, just 60 seconds of pleasure to give her an STD, man. And that goes for you women too. A motherfucker could just stick the tip in. Motherfuckers are, let me just stick the tip in. Just stick the tip in. Woo, woo, woo. I've had so many girls tell me just to stick the tip in. And it only would take me to stick the tip in to give you HIV. It would only take me to stick the tip in to give you herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, any of the crabs, any of these diseases. It doesn't matter. So what I want you guys to do, man, please, any of y'all watching, please practice safe sex. And like I just said, man, that includes oral sex because it's a lot less likely. But you can get a disease from a girl sucking your dick. You can get a disease from a man eating your pussy, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going out here, y'all just letting everybody give you head, both males and females. I just want my pussy ate. I just want my dick sucked. I don't want to get her pregnant or anything like that. I just want the neck. I just want the turkey neck. Well, you could still get something. It's a lot less likely. But come on, guys, like I just said, if she's sucking your dick, she sucked many a dicks. Believe that. If he's eating your pussy, he's ate many a pussies. And sometimes, man, you know, as soon as motherfucker puts their dick in you, or as soon as you get in some pussy or whatever, you can tell, oh, this motherfucker here know what they doing. You feel me? Sometimes that she put her dick in your mouth and she starts doing shit and you don't even know what's happening. All you just feel is your eyes rolling back. And you motherfuckers are still gonna keep fucking her raw and shit, man. And like I said, a lot of the, I'm going off on a tangent, but a lot, just in my past experiences, a lot of them girls who tried to do the whole innocent thing or even might have said they were virgins or just had sex with one or two other guys, they be the main ones to be doing some shit that you didn't even know was possible. And, and you still believe that bullshit she's saying, man. So, in closing, don't be one of those she said ass motherfuckers. Don't be one of those he said ass women. Because diseases are no joke. And more importantly, having a child is no joke, man. You are bringing another adult into this, or another human being into this world. So, you know, man, it's not worth it having a minute of pleasure. It's not worth it. I don't give a fuck if you fuck for 2 whole hours. It's not worth it for a lifetime of consequences. You know, don't allow temporary circumstances to, you know, make provisions for you to have long-term consequences. Remember that. Don't allow temporary circumstances to make provisions for you to have long-term consequences, man, and sometimes lifetime consequences. You don't want to go to the doctor and have them put a Q-tip down your dick. You don't want to be a woman and you look down in your panties and all kind of orange and red discharge and shit that came out your pussy. You don't want that, man. You don't want to go to the bathroom and pee and it feels like you finna light the house on fire because it feels like you shooting a scream of fire out your dick, man. You don't want that. So please, guys, just wrap it up. Wrap it up all the time. And like I said, I know it doesn't feel as good. And truth be told, you shouldn't have had raw sex in the first place because that's something that keeps me on my good foot. I've never had raw pussy. So I don't really miss it. I know it could feel a hell of a lot better, but I've never gone raw. So, you know, but for all of y'all, you've been fucking raw and you trying to, I know, man, I know it's hard, but you going over to her crib, put it in your pocket. She's coming over to your place, put it there on the nightstand, put it somewhere close and just put that motherfucker on before you actually get fully naked and, you know, you sitting there playing with your dick on her pussy and shit, teasing her and shit, man. Go get a condom. Don't let it go too far. Don't be in the middle of the pussy 10 minutes in talking about, oh man, I should have wore a condom. You thinking in the back of your head. And now you done nutted all in this girl, and for the next month, you're worried to hell because you don't know if she gotten pregnant or not, man. That's not a life to live. Just put on condoms, guys, please, please. And there's so many people my age and even older, because you know at my age you can get a girl pregnant from hugging her too long. So you know, man, you gotta wrap it up. Women, make them wrap it up. So I appreciate you guys watching, man. Peace.